Good morning. Today we'll discuss about the energy stored in capacitors. What are the factors that will influence the energy stored in capacitor? First we'll start with the energy stored in capacitor. Capacitor is a device used to store electrical energy, that is in form of electric charge. First take it as an uncharged capacitor. Some charge is already given to it, say, so that its potential becomes V. It has some positive charge, but if I want to give some additional charge to it, there exists some electrostatic repulsion between these two. There exists repulsion, but still I want to give some charge to it. To overcome this repulsive force, definitely some energy, work is required. So here work done is here the force is variable force. Why? Because this Q value is changing. So that's why we know that in work done by the variable force is, what is work done? dW equals to what we can write it is F dx. F dW equals to total work done equals to VQ. So dW equals to what we can write is V times of additional charge required is dQ. So dW equals to V dQ. I want to calculate the charge work done, W equals to what we can write integral of V dQ. Initially uncharged capacitor say 0, and finally I want to give some charge Q here. W equals to integral 0 to Q V dQ. But if you see this integration, I want to integrate, I have to integrate V with respect to Q, but I have to write V in terms of Q. That's why for that I'll use a formula. What is that formula? Q equals to CV formula I'll use. From this, what is the potential? Potential equals to what we can write it is Q by C. If I'll substitute in this equation, so what is the work done? It is integral 0 to Q. What is V? It is Q by C dQ. So what is the work done? W equals to Q is variable, so constant, C is constant, I'll write outside. So it is integral Q dQ, and the variable limits of integration is from 0 to Q. So W equals to what we can write 1 by C into Q power 1. All of you know that integration it will become Q square by 2. Integral Q dQ limits. What is the integral Q dQ? It is Q square by 2, and the limits of integration are from 0 to Q. After applying the limits, the work done against this electrostatic force is stored as electrostatic potential energy. One more theory point you can observe. What kind of energy is stored in capacitor? Electrostatic potential energy. So what is this electrostatic potential energy? From this equation, what I can write is Q square by 2C. So the electrostatic equation for the electrostatic potential energy stored in the capacitor is Q square by 2C. I can write this in different formats. If we know that Q equals to CV. If I'll substitute in this equation, so what will be the energy? Energy equals to Q square means E square V square by 2C. 1C gets cancelled. So I am writing the second expression, it is equals to 1 by 2 CV square. So the energy stored in the capacitor formula, 1C gets cancelled, so the energy becomes half CV square. And one more formula we can write. So energy equals to half into, I am rewriting this equation, CV into V. But what is CV? CV is nothing but Q. From this I am writing one more expression, U equals to what we can write a Q into V Q by 2. So there are three possible formulae for the energy stored in capacitor. U is equals to Q square by 2C, U equals to half CV square, and U equals to VQ by 2. And a small clarification, small confusion. First I'll try to clarify this. If I'll consider this expression, what is this expression? U equals to Q square by 2C. What you can write is U is inversely proportional to the capacitance. If you see this expression, energy equals to half CV square, here from this what we can write is U is directly proportional to the capacitance. Here it is energy is inversely proportional to the capacitance, here energy is directly proportional to the capacitance. If you see the third one, energy is independent of capacitance. Out of these, which is correct now? Capacitance, is it energy, is it inversely proportional to capacitance or directly proportional to capacitor, or there is no effect of capacitance on the energy stored. No, clarification is when the battery is disconnected, important theory point. So it is when the battery is disconnected, when battery is disconnected, all of you know that a battery is a source of electric charges. When it is disconnected, when no longer charge can be added to it, which remains constant, charge remains constant. If the charge remains constant, energy stored I have to write in terms of charge, that is energy equals to q square by 2c. If the charge is constant, so what we can write, energy is inversely proportional to the capacitance. Once again, when the battery is disconnected from the circuit, so which remains constant, q, write the expression in terms of q and c, that is u equals to q square by 2c. From this what we can say, energy is inversely proportional to the capacitance. But assume a situation when the battery is connected in the circuit, when the battery is connected in the circuit, connected means when the battery is connected in the circuit, potential difference always remains constant. When the battery is connected, whether the dielectric is removed or added, so which remains constant, V remains constant. Now the expression for the energy in terms of V, what is that? It is U equals to half CV square. So from this equation what we can write, energy is directly proportional to the capacitance. When the battery is connected, which remains constant, potential remains constant, so the energy stored in the capacitor is directly proportional to the capacitance. If one more point, third conclusion, we got some equation like this. Which equation? Energy stored equals to VQ by 2. But all of you know that W equals to VQ, electrostatics formula. I am writing here. But W equals to what we can write? W equals to VQ. If I substitute in this equation energy VQ is nothing but W by 2. So that means what we can say, W equals to 2U. This is important point, simple and important point. Say for example, I want to give 100 joules of energy to the capacitor. How much energy, how much work should be done by the battery? The work done must be double. W, work done by the battery to give an energy is 2 times. If I want to give the 50 joules of energy for the capacitor, I want to work done by the battery must be equals to 100 joules. This is important conclusion here. This is the expression for the energy stored in capacitor. Energy stored in capacitor we can write in 3 different formats, in q square by 2c, half cv square, and one more point is vq by 2. And just now we have discussed where we have to use which formula. When the battery is disconnected, energy is inversely proportional to the capacitor. When the battery is connected, then energy is directly proportional to the capacitance. Work done by the battery equals to the twice the energy stored in the capacitor. After this, effect of dielectric on energy stored. Effect of dielectric on energy stored. First I will take a capacitor with air as a medium in between these two. It is charged by a battery of potential difference V. What is the initial capacitance? I will write as a C naught. C naught equals to what I will write is epsilon naught A by D. What is the energy stored in the capacitor? I can write in 2 different formats. If Q is a charge on each plate, if plus Q is present and minus Q. If Q is a charge on each plate, so what is the energy? It is Q square by 2C. Initial energy before placing dielectric. And also I can write in terms of half CV square also, half C into V square, where C equals epsilon naught A by D. Now, we have to study the effect of dielectric in 2 different ways, in 2 different situations, 2 different cases. If I will consider the first case. First case, I am assuming that the battery is connected. After charging, the battery is still connected in the circuit. After charging, battery is there and the dielectric is placed in between these two. Battery is connected and the dielectric of constant K is placed in this case. Battery is connected. Battery is connected means which formula we have to use? Q square by 2C or half CV square. When the battery is connected, V remains constant. So which formula we have to use? Energy stored in the capacitor V remains constant. Final energy equals to half into final capacitance with the dielectric into square of the potential. But capacitance with the dielectric is always K times of the capacitance with A into V square. So, or else conclusion I can write like this: final energy equals to K times of the initial energy. So, final energy stored in the capacitance equals to K times of the initial energy. So, energy increases to K times of the initial value, provided if the battery is still connected in the circuit. In the second situation, first it is battery is charged, this capacitor is charged, some charge is supplied. Now the battery is disconnected. As I said just now, battery is the source of electric charges. It is disconnected. Disconnected means charge remains constant. If the charge remains constant, which formula to use? Final energy equals to, in terms of charge we have to write. What is this? It is Q square, charge is constant, by 2 into capacitance with the dielectric, CD I'll write it as. As usual, when the dielectric is placed, what happens to the capacitance? Capacitance becomes K times. So, from this, but what is this Q square by 2 C naught? It is nothing but from this, what we can write? Final energy equals to Q square by 2 C naught is the initial energy. So, initial energy by K. So, what you can observe is, in this situation, if the battery is disconnected, energy decreases to 1 by K times of initial value. So, when the battery is connected, different influence. When the battery is disconnected, it is a different influence. Now, we will go to the next topic, that is common potential and the loss of energy. So, let it is a capacitor of capacity C1. It is charged to the potential. What is the potential to which it is charged? Say V1. That means how much charge is present on it. So, it is a Q1 equals to, let as Q equals CV. That means plus Q1 is present on this plate and minus Q1 is present on this plate. Now, one more capacitor is taken. It is capacitance C2. Let it is charged with potential V2. That means Q2 is a charge on each plate. That is, what is the Q2? It is C2 V2. So, similarly, what we can write, it is my plus Q2 on this plate and this is minus Q2. So, this is a positive plate of the first, negative plate of the first, positive plate of the next and negative plate of the next. If these two are joined, there are two methods to join. First one is positive of C1 is connected to positive of C2. Positive of C1 is connected to positive of C2. So, the diagram is like this. If we will connect like this, there will be no loss of charge, no neutralization. This is positive and this is also positive. So, there will be no neutralization, minus Q1 minus Q2. So, this is capacitance C1 and C2. I want to find out the common potential. This is the common potential. In this context, when positive is connected to the positive charge and there will be no neutralization of the charge, means simply total charge of the combination equals to charge on the first one plus charge on the second. I will use the formula Q equals to CV. So, effective capacitance in the parallel combination, into what is the common potential CV equals to Q1 equals to, what we can write, it is C1 V1 and what is Q2, it is C2 V2. So, from this, common potential equals to, what we can write, C1 V1 plus C2 V2, capacitance in the parallel combination, what we can write, it is C1 plus C2. So, this is the equation for common potential, in which case when the positive of the first capacitor is, positive plate of the first capacitor is connected to the positive of the next. In that case, what will be the effective capacitance of the combination? It is the C1 V1 plus C2 V2 by C1 plus C2. If same charged capacitors, now if they are connected like this, second case, means positive plate, positive of C1 is connected to negative of C2. So positive of C1 is connected to negative of C2. Neutralization of the charge takes place. This is plus and this will be connection is negative. So what will be the total charge on the combination? What I can write is Q1 minus Q2. In the previous case Q1 plus Q2, but now it is negative charge is connected, positive to the negative, it is Q1 minus Q2. If we will follow the similar procedure in this case, Q is what is the effective capacitance C1 plus C2 of the common potential, so it is Vc. What is the Q1? Q1 is nothing but C1 V1 minus what is Q2? It is nothing but C2 V2. So what will be the common potential in this situation? It is C1 V1 minus C2 V2 by, but no change in the denominator. Denominator is C1 plus C2 only. This is how to calculate the common potential in different situations. And here one more model of problem. They may give like this. A capacitor of capacity C1 is charged to potential V and it is connected across an uncharged capacitor. Uncharged capacitor, that means potential across the second is 0. In that situation, we can use the same formula by substituting. If it is uncharged capacitance, V2 substituted as 0. If V2 is substituted as 0, so here this formula reduces to C1 V1 by C1 plus C2. And here the common potential, if positive is connected to negative, so anyway here we will get the same value. Why? Because V2 is 0. So this is the common potential when a capacitor is connected across uncharged capacitor. Now how to calculate the loss of energy? Loss of energy in first year collisions chapter, when two bodies are collided, then we have one formula like this. Loss of kinetic energy equals to, there is one formula like this, 1 by 2 of m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 times of u1 minus u2 whole square into 1 minus e square. This is the formula in first year collisions in which two bodies of masses m1 m2 are moving with velocities u1 u2 in the same direction are collided if E is a coefficient of restitution. Just simple from this, by using this equation, here we will write one formula for the loss of energy. When two capacitors are joined, like in the previous common potential concept, so a loss of energy delta U equals to, I will write like this, 1 by 2. Instead of mass, what do we have to write? Capacitance C1. So other capacitance is C2. What do we have to write in the denominator? C1 plus C2. So instead of velocity in the collisions, I will write it as a potential V1 minus what we can write it V2 whole square. Of course, you need not consider the coefficient of restitution, E value you need not consider. So loss of energy when two capacitors are joined in parallel, then the loss of energy of the combination is given by the formula 1 by 2 C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 of V1 minus V2 whole square. If, and further if I will consider the application of this, if the second is uncharged, if the second capacitor is uncharged, and the question based on this is very important, and the second one is uncharged means simply what we can write V2 is 0. If the second one is uncharged means what we can write V2 0. If I will substitute in this equation, so what I will get, change in energy equals to, loss of energy equals to 1 by 2 C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 times of V2 is 0. So if I will take V1 as V, so I can write like this. Well, this is the loss of energy if the second one is uncharged. And now I will go to the another one. So it is, what is the fractional loss of energy? Fractional loss of energy. Fractional loss of energy means loss of energy to the initial energy. What is initial energy from this equation? From the previous equation, what I can write is delta U equals to, I can rewrite the equation like this. Delta U equals to 1 by 2 C1 V square. I'll write it separately. 1 by 2 C1 V square. After this 1 by 2 C1 V square, what is the term remaining? The term remaining is C2 by C1 plus C2. But what is this half C1 square? It is nothing but the energy stored in the first capacitor. So what we can write it is delta U equals to, this is the energy stored in the first capacitor by C2 by C1 plus C2. So if the question is for the fractional loss of energy, fractional loss, What is the fractional loss? Fractional loss means I can write as delta U by U. This delta U by U is equals to C2 by C1 plus C2. This is the fractional loss of energy. So, this is a method to calculate the loss of energy and fractional loss of energy. What is the effect of dielectric on capacitance, electric field intensity, potential, even on the energy also? First, I will take a parallel plate capacitor with air as a medium in between these two. Let the electric field intensity between these two plates is assumed as a uniform electric field. Say E naught is the electric field intensity in between these two. V naught is the potential difference between the plates. And of course, D is the separation, D is fixed. So the capacitance, let the capacitance, what is this capacitance? Let it is C naught. Now, if I will place a dielectric medium in between these two, if the dielectric is placed in between these two, so electrical polarization takes place in dielectric like this. If it is positive plate, negative charge is attracted towards it, the positive charge. Like this, entire dielectric can be, when the dielectric is placed and the electrical polarization takes place like this. Here you can observe one thing, original field is from positive to plate to the negative plate. But if you see this diagram closely, so inside each dielectric molecule, field is developed in opposite direction. That means E with a medium, electric field intensity with a medium is equals to actual field minus it is the field is developed in opposite direction. So that's why what I'll write E because of the dielectric. Or in general, if K is a dielectric medium of the constant, E with the medium equals to what we can write, it is E naught by K. So electric field intensity decreases by K times. It is a situation when the battery is connected or disconnected. We are not discussed about the battery disconnection. If the battery is disconnected, so what happens to the electric field intensity? It will become decreases, it will become E naught by K. When the battery is disconnected, what is the relation between V and E? It is equals to V equals to E naught into D initially. Did we change the distance between these two? No. So what we can write, V with the medium equals to E with the medium into D. Similarly, what I can say, it is a potential with the medium equals to potential in air by K. So finally, conclusion is, when the battery is disconnected and the dielectric is placed, electric field intensity decreases. So what happens to the potential? Decreases, but the capacitance with the medium equals to K times of C naught. I'll repeat. When the battery is disconnected, not connected in the circuit, but when the dielectric is placed, electric field intensity decreases, potential decreases, but the capacitance becomes K times. As just now we have discussed, what happens to the energy stored in the capacitor? Energy stored in the capacitor becomes what we can write, initial energy divided with K. All these are the factors when the battery is disconnected. But in the same situation, if the battery is still connected in the circuit, if the battery is still connected in the circuit, definitely it will not allow the potential to decrease. So what we can write, if the battery is disconnected, so the potential with the medium equals to potential in air. Potential remains unchanged. If the potential remains unchanged, what happens to the field intensity? Even field intensity remains unchanged. But what happens to the capacitance? Capacitance with the medium equals to K times of C naught. And what happens to the energy? Energy becomes energy equals to K times of the initial energy. So when the battery is disconnected, potential difference remains same, it will not change. Electric field intensity remains same, capacitance becomes K times, and also what happens to the energy? Energy becomes K times of the initial value. In this part of electrostatics in the topic capacitors, in the final examination point of view, practice more in the network of different capacitors and the factors affecting the energy and effective capacitance of the combination are very much important. In the final examination, from this you can at least expect at least one, maximum 2 questions from this.